January 1st is quickly going to be upon us. And the thing is, a lot of people want to start their New Year's resolutions. And that could be, I want to lose weight, I want to start working out, or maybe I want to stop drinking. And the thing is, all of three of these will take a lot of work. Working out takes a lot of work. To lose weight, you have to change yourself, you have to reinvent yourself. No different than stopping to drink. It takes a lot of work. It's not something that's willpower. You can't just stop because you decided to. Whenever anybody on my thread or on my page says, I want to stop drinking, or I've stopped for 3 days, or a week, or 2 weeks, or maybe even a month, I always ask the same question. What are you doing to work on yourself? What are you doing to reinvent yourself? Are you around community? Are you being connected with people who are on the same path as you? Are you showing up for yourself? Are you doing online meetings? Are you actually physically going to meetings? Do you have counseling? Are you making sure that you're not around people who are drinking or in situations where drinking will occur? You have to have a different mindset, and that's not something that's going to happen by yourself, not to mention the physicality of stopping to drink. So let's continue the conversation. So for a lot of people, the cravings can be simply overwhelming. And the thing is, it's not just the cravings, it's the habits that you've created, the reward system that you've created after work or on the weekends, or being around people and friends who also drink. All of these things must change. They literally, you have to evaporate this from your life. So instead of drinking when you get home at night, you're going to have to go to a meeting or work on yourself by, physicality, working, running, yoga, kayaking, hiking, something physical you need to do, and replace that drinking with something more positive. And it really helps to do it with other people and with other groups. Naltrexone, Antabuse, these are medications that will help you curb the desire for alcohol. Antabuse actually makes you physically ill, and naltrexone, along with different programs, will help you curb the feelings of drinking. I say use all the tools, use everything available, make it your priority, make it your focus, and you will be able to get there. You will be able to get there. And I can't tell you how many times my wife said, oh, I'm quitting, I'm done, I'm not going to drink anymore. And it could be after a DUI, or it could have been after she came home for a rehab, or maybe when she did something drastic like run through the front of the house. I remember she said, I'm done, I'm not going to do this anymore, I can't put myself and you through this anymore. And she would say things like that. And she would actually take, maybe she had a hidden bottle of wine, she'd take it to the sink and just dump it in the sink in front of me, like as kind of a gesture that she was done. And then I'd come home from work a week or two later and she'd be passed out on the couch. And this is why it's so important to realize it's not willpower, and don't even attempt to do it by yourself. And if you think you can, you're wrong. You're just simply wrong. It's not a solo project. Just like any project, it's going to take a community to get you there. And it's the safest and best and the most rewarding way to get alcohol use disorder into a recovery situation. And I really hope that makes sense. So what does reinventing oneself actually mean? For a lot of people, it means different things. Things like, number one, you're not a tree, you can move. If the problem is one of the reasons why you're drinking is because you're surrounded by people who drink, could be family. I've suggested to clients to move. If you live in a certain area, go move to a different town, move 100 miles away, remove yourself from the situation entirely. This is all part of the process of making it a priority. It's going to take change. Nothing changes, nothing's going to change. You have to change inside, and you have to change your environment outside. They go together. Now, don't just move to a different area and take your baggage with you. When you get to the new place, you need to create community. You need to be around, involved with community. Now, let's talk about AA for a minute, for example. Not just AA, but support groups in general. Now, a lot of people will say they love AA and it saved them, and just as many people will say it doesn't work for them and it's not for them. That's okay. Look for reasons that you're going to get to your ultimate goal, which is sustainable sobriety. Don't get hung up on AA is not the only game in town. If you have a problem with higher orders or you just don't like the situation, there are literally thousands of different organizations and groups. Find one that resonates with you. Smart Recovery, Life Ring, Women for Sobriety are just to name a few. There's also local organizations that do outpatient. Just in the town that I live in, there's 3 major ones in the town that I live in, and there's about 110,000 in this area. Okay, if you live in a small town, I always get the excuse, well, there aren't any groups around me. Okay, there's this thing called the internet, and if you're watching me, well, you have the internet. You can go to a group 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, somewhere online. Don't look for excuses, look for ways to get to your ultimate goal. Gosh, I really hope that hits home, and I hope that makes sense. And the last little caveat I want to say is if you have dual issues, PTSD, bipolar, schizophrenia, borderline personality disorder, ADHD, any of these types of things, don't expect that the group therapies are going to really make room for that, because it's not about that. You're going to have to deal with that separately. The groups, the support groups, are going to concentrate on alcohol use. If you have dual issues, you need specific counseling for those specific issues, and don't blame the group therapy because they're not addressing that, because they're not going to. Okay, hope that makes sense. And again, the memoir is called Amanda, A Cautionary Tale of Alcoholism. It's the story of my wife's 25-year decline with alcohol use disorder, and unfortunately she passed away almost 5 years ago at this point. The book is a very important story as it's told from the perspective of the family, because it's a family disease. And again, I go live Monday through Friday right around 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 9 o'clock Eastern. We also have the Facebook group. It's called There's an Alcoholic in the Family. And when you're ready to work with me one-on-one, I have a complete coaching program that's designed for the family and the alcoholic in the family. Set up a breakthrough call. Takes about 45 minutes to an hour. Make sure all the principals are at the meeting and come to get to work. I'm looking for people who want to change their lives and the lives of their family. Okay, the call is free. The course is definitely not. And again, thanks so much for listening.